Yeah, check it out. Check this out. Check it out, young blood. This is this is Sneaky Pete. Check it out. Here, check this out. Check out. Check this out. Let's peek this here. This right here, man. This is some of Washington's finest. It's called the White Willow. The White Widow. They said one hit and then kill your bitch and make her a widow. Hit this dog. Listen to me. Let's check that. My nigga. Check out. Some good ass weed right here, man. Some good ass weed right here. Check this out, man. Hey, check this out, man. Let me holler at you, player. Check it out. You know, let me give some big ups to Mad Scientist Jay, my H-Town homie, but my main man, Human Paradox. Oh, I'm sorry, Malevolent Elephant, always known as Human Paradox. Holla at your boy, man. Go check out my man's channel. He's popping. He got things going on over there, so check him out. Well, Madam Reed, where you at? Holla at a player. Check this out. It has been brought to my attention that a lot of commercials been popping up on the Ignat box showing white men's with black women, with these little mixed little zebra families. Smoke weed every day. Peep this. What they trying to sell us, people, is they trying to sell us this bullshit that, look, black women, look, you can easily get you a white man like this white woman in this black woman in this commercial. Let me tell you black women something. You go ahead, go out there talking about you gonna get you a white man. Okay, go on out there, get you a white man. Since you love white men, says your white man is your last resort. Cause black men are so fucked up that, you know, shit, black women, you ain't got nowhere to go but get you one of these here white men's. Get you a white men's. Okay? That's what they try to tell these black women. Hey, look here. You ain't got no choice. Black men so fucked up. Look here. Black chocolate thing. Why don't you come over here and get you a white man? Get the fuck out of here with that straight up bullshit. Okay? That is pure D bullshit. You dig? First of all, black women, you go out there and get you a white man. This is what's going to happen to your ass right here. That's what's going to happen to you. Okay? You see them shits? See them shits? You see them shits, black women? That's what's going to happen to you when you want to get you a white boy. See, you black women are starting to look at TV and be hoping and wishing like these white girls. And falling, you know, we got black women out here looking at The Bachelor and all the Bachelorette and white, you know, you got black women sitting on front of the Ignat box watching that shit, and they hoping and wishing and having all these hopes and dreams and aspirations and all this kind of stuff. And I'm saying to myself, how you gonna have aspirations, dreams and hopes and wishes and watermelon, you know, strawberry dreams and all that sort of kind of shit? How you gonna have any of that and you broken? Broken, collectively broken people don't produce anything. You can't be a broken person and produce anything. It's impossible. It's impossible. I'm telling you what I know. It's impossible for somebody that is totally under the thumb of white supremacy and racism, and also broken spirit. Because only someone with a broken spirit will go and put a rug on their head and will put another woman's hair on their head, another race of woman's hair on your head, and say, hey, this is my hair because I paid for it. Only a broken person would say that. And only a broken person under the auspices of white supremacy and racism and being almost totally delusional would think that you can cross over and date your oppressor and y'all going on an equal socioeconomic plane. That is not how it works, black women. And I'm telling you, before you bite the bullet, or before you bite the bait and start going for that crap and thinking that you're going to be out here with a you're going to be like white women hoping and wishing, watching the Lifetime channel, looking at some Lifetime channel, seeing some white girl, all she got to do is be bashful and act feminine and, I'm so helpless, and act like a damsel in distress. The rich white guy, he just happens to be tall and rich, and he sweeps her off her feet, and they live happily ever after like everybody else on the Lifetime channel. Well, black women, look, you ain't in line for that. Just like you ain't in line to marry a prince of the royal family in the UK. You'll never be Meghan Markle. And stop trying to live vicariously through Meghan Markle, because it's not going to work. And it makes black people look silly when we have our women hoping and wishing for a white boy, and then getting treated like the woman in this meme. You have to understand, black woman, a lot of medical procedures now, especially gynecology, was done practicing on black women slaves, and then through segregation of black women, and they were cutting and doing all of these things to black women without anesthesia and without pain, numbing or anything, no lidocaine, none of that shit. Do y'all know that? But you got all these black women running around and talking about, oh, I want me a white man. Man, fuck these black men. These black men ain't shit. And then go out there and get a white man and he treats you like shit. I done dated black women who got half black kids by white men who don't want to have nothing to do with their kids or them. Don't give me that bullshit. That all black men, white men, they responsible. White men could be responsible because ain't nobody trying to take their shit. When they get a job, they're welcomed with open arms. They're treated like they're part of the family. And that's why the janitor with his cockeyed, one-legged, wooden kickstand ass, he feels he's superior to you at the job and you're a damn vice president. That's why he feels smug enough to disrespect you. And you're 10 platforms above him in rank at the company. But because of his pale skin, he feels emboldened to try to play crackers and niggas at the job. He's treated as a stakeholder just for being Caucasian. He gets treated with respect, and he gets a seat at the table while you get nothing. And that's why I don't get excited and I don't jump out my socks when Caucasian women show an interest in me, especially upper middle class Caucasian women. They want me to come talk to them. Man, I'm not kissing nobody's ass. I ain't kissing nobody's ass. Not for no bootay. I'll kiss somebody's ass to be a new customer, new client of my consulting company, but that's about it. So we have to stop falling for these tricks. And you black women, y'all sit up here and you see these commercials. First they were showing the white woman with the black man. They were doing that. And that really caused a stink. Then now they putting these commercials on TV with these because they've been putting the ones with the black men in them too, and white women. I done seen them sneak some of those commercials by. They don't fool me. They don't fool the Iceman. They don't fool me with that bullshit. We have to not be fooled by the propaganda, black men and black women and everybody else. Because there's a lot of Caucasian people who are not part of the bullshit. And you listen to my show, and I thank God for you. Okay? But the thing that I want to convey to you is that black women, you cannot find refuge in your oppressor's lap. You can't do it. There is no refuge with Caucasian males. The reason why you're marginalized as a black woman is because of him. It ain't because of us. We're standing right beside you being subjugated. So we're in this together. Just like back in the 80s, I did a video probably about 6 months ago, and I said, you know, during the Reagan era, during my young adult years, when a lot of college students were fighting for, Mandela to get released from prison, and that we were fighting apartheid and divesting in South America. It was a sign of things to come. But black people we were tight back then. We were a lot tighter back then than we are now. Man, we had to be during the Reagan era. You dig? We knew that. We knew we had to. And we treated it differently. It seems like today we're just, we look at these commercials on TV, they're trying to act like, hey, this is real life. Hey, Iceman, this could be you. Hey, get you a white man. Get you a white woman. Go move out here in the burbs. And, we'll give you a little bit of resources, make you feel comfortable and help, make you feel comfortable and be part of the family. Nah, the Iceman ain't finna fall for that. Nah, OG ain't finna fall for that bullshit. But these motherfuckers is tripping though. They tripping. Putting this propaganda on TV, and some people that I've talked to have peep game too. Been like, hey, guys, you see that on TV? Start have all these commercials with all these black women with white men. And you see, that's what starts that hoping and wishing with all these unattractive black women who are bunny ruckuses. And I'm not saying all black women, but I'm saying some of them. Some of y'all. And y'all go out here, you know, either you hang around with bunny ruckuses, or you are a bunny ruckus. And I'm gonna tell you right now, back in the 80s, back in the Reagan era, you did not see all these fat black women. Black women were cute, even if the black woman didn't have a big booty or big boobs or something like that, they still were shapely and beautiful. And now we got all these fat black women because a lot of you black women are, you know, you don't understand that if you don't work out, your the gravity is just going to take hold and your body is going to be a mess. And if you're out here being a single mom, look at the situation you're putting yourself in. And let me say this real quick. Let me say this, man. Let me say this before I get into what this video is really about. I haven't been keeping up with my movie viewing. Usually, as you guys have learned over the years, you know, I do movie reviews sometimes. I'm not going to do a movie review, but we'll talk about what I will say is I had to fly on business down to LA, so I had to go to LAX because it was cheaper. It was cheaper to fly down there. And so I'm flying down there, and the latest Planet of the Apes movie played. And I'm looking at the movie while I'm on the plane, and I was just like, that movie is definitely, if you haven't seen it already, that movie is definitely about whites versus blacks. That's what I gather from that movie. It is very good. I was intrigued. Actually, the last 2 or 3 Planet of the Apes movies that they've put out are actually pretty good. They're pretty good. This one is a real good one, and it is just the parallels to blacks in America and how we are under physical attack and we are under siege, educationally, economically mostly, and we are disenfranchised. And so, you know, when you look at brothers and sisters and where we are socioeconomically as it relates to social status in America and where you are racially, you know, if a black person has the same problem as a white person, let's say if a black person has a felony on their record, and you got a white person of equal age and everything else, height and whatever, even if you want to get down to height and weight and all that, your white counterpart, and they have a felony on their record, that white guy, he is still going to outperform you earning because the sky's the limit for him. But for you, the limit is the sky. Okay? And he can go out here and hustle under the table, like what's a lot a lot of white dudes do that kind of stuff, especially white dudes who live off the grid. Those like biker dudes. That's a whole nother world. If you ask anybody that's in a biker, even some of the biker, I'm saying clubs. I'm not saying gang, like the Mongols and Hell's Angels. I ain't talking about them cats, because we know they're a criminal enterprise. We know that. A lot of them motorcycle gangs been hit with RICO statutes the last 10, 20 years, especially since that ATF agent went undercover for about 5 or 6, 7 years, and they made a movie about it. I can't remember the name of the movie, but so those of you who watch a lot of documentaries, you know who I'm talking about. He wrote a book. This was white dude. He was ex-military, ex-marine. I think then he went to the ATF and went undercover with I don't think it was the Hell Angels. It might have been one of the chapters of the Hell's Angels, and he busted a whole bunch of guys, and they ended up exposing him because of something he did something they didn't like. And I think he got mad at the ATF, so he put a whole lot of classified information out there in a book, and they ended up it got real nasty. I think it's the same guy I'm thinking about, but it might be another guy. But anyway, I know I looked at this when I was going through my criminal justice program as an undergrad. Anyway, we're being set up. We're being set up. It's the faking giving us the illusion of inclusion and trying to make us think that, oh, you can go out and get you a white woman. Oh, you can go out here and get you a white man. And it doesn't work that way, because you can go get with them people and those people still be they might even still be white supremacists on the down low. Because I done dated some. When it came down to black versus Caucasian, they chose Caucasian. Okay? They chose correctly. Maybe not to you or me emotionally, but racially she picked the right team, even though she wanted to, slide up and down on some soul pole. So we can't fall for the okie doke people. And my brothers and sisters especially, we can't fall for the hokey doke, yo. We're gonna have to stop doing that shit. We're really gonna have to stop doing that, because it makes us look weak when they show us falling keep falling for the same old bullshit for the last 400 years, and not seeing that the bullshit is so self-evident. It's so evident in society that these people are trying to play us. They create a smoke screen and then they deflect, and they use deception. They're like magicians. Like the white supremacy is like going to see a David Copperfield show. That's what it's like. Going to see a David Copperfield show. Okay? That's what it's like. It's deceptive. And then when they defend it, they deflect and project. No, the reason why we got problems is because nigger problem. You fucking niggers! Fucking niggers! Hate fucking niggers, man. Hate them fucking niggers, dude. Fucking niggers! Fucking niggers! That's what they say when they catch a nigga by his toe. Only problem is they don't fuck around and let him go. Can you dig it? You tuned in to the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. We just on here talking shit. You dig? Anyway, there's some things that are coming on the horizon, ladies and gentlemen, that are going to be kind of scary. This tax law, I suggest those of you who make over 50 grand a year, I suggest you might even go get a CPA this time around. Especially if every year you get about $2,500. I'm talking to you single cats, because a lot of you single kids, I get a lot of emails from single cats who telling me, hey, Ice, I make about 50, I make about 60, I make about 70, and you know, I get about 3,500 back every year. How does that affect me? Well, you might want to take a look at the tax code, because I guarantee they got most of it up already. Yeah, there's thousands upon thousands of pages of law. But I used to read it sometimes myself, because some of it's very interesting. I mean, they got laws where you can, you know, if you got a business on a boat and you conducting business, and if you go out so far out in the ocean, you're considered maritime. You're not considered, you're in international waters. So you can do whatever you want to do. You're not bound by American law, civil law. That's why people will tell you, if people who work those cruise ships, and that's the kind of life they have, where that's all they do is work on those cruise ships, they'll tell you. At first it's exciting and it's fun, but they'll tell you that it gets quite fucked up after a while, because they don't pay. Most of the money that they make on tips. They don't make a whole lot of money like people think. Maritime wages sometimes aren't even half of what they pay here, of our minimum wage. That's why you have so many foreigners on those cruise ships working. I need to take me a damn cruise. I gotta go out here and buy another damn vehicle. That's a video in and of itself. Anyway, peep this here. This tax code about to fuck up a lot of people, lower middle class and poor people. Like they're giving you, I think you can still do a double child tax deduction on earned income, or something similar to that, to what Clinton put through. But they're gonna fuck you on. You can't write off your, because I know if you live in Minneapolis, you pay a city tax when you work. You pay city tax. I think the county might get like 50 cents, something like that, out your check. And then is the FICA guy, which is Social Security, and all the other, and that's federal. And then state tax. So a city, county, and state, if you live in Minneapolis. Man, I used to get fucked with that all the time. I didn't like that shit at all. They tax the shit out of you in Minnesota. But they have to, because it's not a heavily populated state. Shit, 95% of the people that live in the state live in Minneapolis, St. Paul. That's why the Twin Cities are starting to explode. It changed too much for me. I don't think I'll ever live there full time ever again. It's changed too much. They done came with that hipster shit. That's why I was like, no, I'm out of here. Because y'all know, I used to be praised in Minneapolis, St. Paul 5 or 6 years ago. Shit, I can't stand that motherfucker, man. Because you get up there, it's just different. All the old gang, people done got sick, people done got, people done died, people done, niggas done got old and shit, man. So niggas done got old, so they don't want to do shit no more. Yeah, a lot of them niggas as well sit around and drink. I don't drink no more. I might have a little wine with my dinner or something sometime. Just trying to do something a little different. But I don't even drink a mouthful of that shit. But anyway, this tax bill about to fuck a lot of people, especially single moms. And let me talk about these single moms for a second. When a single mom goes out here, when a woman with that single mom mentality, who grew up in that kind of environment, the first thing they think about, it's not that they think, because they don't do it consciously. In their mind, way they're operating in their minds, even though they probably said I would never have kids because of what I saw, because of my mom being a single mom, but they go out there and do the same thing their mamas do. They go ahead and continue that tradition of being on welfare and having a bunch of kids, or having a kid out of wedlock with nothing to offer a child. And so they don't all they see is female desperation. They see they come off, the cable go off and what the fuck? Oh man, this Siri shit be coming on. I don't know why this thing be coming on like that. On my iPad and shit. iPad Pro, that thing been tripping. I be sitting here, that thing start talking and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? That ain't that goddamn high shit. Yeah, nigga, I know I've been puffing a little bit, but I know I ain't that goddamn high. Well, I got my electronics talking to my ass. I'm like, shit, goddamn. But I'm gonna tell you right now. And so, this tax code is, see, this is how they kill you softly. This is how they kill us softly, black folks. This is how you see this is the kind of death that we ain't gonna shoot you, we ain't gonna stab you, but what we gonna do is we gonna slowly and very succinctly and secretly and succinctly steal your economic birthright from underneath your feet, as well as your children, your grandchildren, and your great-grandchildren, by robbing you blind. Y'all see what they doing? This is not just about Trump trying to copy everything Reagan did. What he thinks he can do, and I'm not sure mentally whether he's doing this as a publicity stunt, because he's saying, oh, well, I've already done this, I've already done that, now, I've only been in office a year, and He's talking all this, almost a year. He's talking all this nonsense, and he said, he said, look at all I've done. And so my response to that is, you still got a long way, dude. You still got a long way before you can accomplish anything. That tax thing was, oh yeah, that's one thing. There is some good things in that tax bill, and I can't remember right now, as far as the tax code is concerned. But the thing is, with anything, whether we have this so-called tax revolution or whatever, people, let me tell you something. If you go and study the tax code, no matter whether the tax code is going to hurt or help you, if you learn just a little bit of the tax code, I'm telling you right now, you're going to be a smarter taxpayer in this country. I'm telling you what I know. Yeah, it's boring. Yeah, it's going to take time from you playing Madden. It's going to take time away from you digging in your ass or digging in some girl's ass. And it's good and as enjoyment as it is digging in a woman's ass, you will be able to dig in more women's asses if you learn the tax code. You dig? So what single moms do is they teach their children desperation. They teach them, they learn that if something gets, turned off, like the cables or the internet or something like that, they know that later on Craig, the mama's quote unquote boyfriend, every time he comes over, they come back when they get home from school the next day after their mom been in there giving throat action to Craig. Next thing you know, when they come home, the cable and the internet's back on. And they like, we like Craig. He nice to us. It seems like every time mom make that sucking noise when I walk by the door later on at night when she think we ain't slick, she think we slick. I hear all that sucking and ooh, so I know right then they in there doing the nasty. Mama nasty, stinking. Mama coochie be stacking the whole house up. I hate mama, she stinky. With her stinking ass. Mama never got that stanky smell out that shag carpet with her nasty ass. My mama nasty. Anyway, what I was saying, you dig, what I was postulating, okay, what I was protagonizing, you dig, what I was pontificating, you digs, is this. There's a thing called homeostasis, and we talk about this in mental health. And what homeostasis is, it is the tendency toward a relatively stable equilibrium between interdependent elements, especially as maintained by physiological processes. So what they're really trying to say is, let me break this down in layperson terms. It's like it's a place where you are emotionally and mentally, when all of your basic needs are taken care of. Remember in my book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1, by the way, you can get my book at Amazon.com. You can get it in tablet form. You can get it in paperback form. And you can also get an autographed paperback copy directly from me at AskTheIceman.com. And so I talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And I'm not going to talk about all of it, but in Maslow's, I keep saying Hasbro, in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, he talks about if a person doesn't have shelter and adequate food and consistent access to make those processes consistent, he cannot obtain or maintain homeostasis. And homeostasis is that you trying to find qi and all this other feng shui and all this Chinese type talking about energy transfer. Homeostasis is you having that state where you're sitting there and you're like, yeah, everything's cool, my bills are paid. I'll give you a perfect example. Homeostasis is when you have your boyfriend come over. There's a certain blanket that he likes that you got on your couch, and you guys say, okay, we're gonna go and get all of Al Pacino's movies, and we're just gonna sit up all night long and look at it. We're just gonna whatever, we might smoke a little bit or something. I might fix, I'm the girl. I'm saying I'm the girl. I'm gonna fix him a steak. He likes to, have steaks on the grill and stuff like that. We're gonna drink wine and we're gonna talk about the week we've had, and we're just gonna have a good time. Homeostasis is that whole process, because you feeling good, you're relaxing. Your man, he's relaxing. He's had a hard week too, and now you guys can exhale. And by the time you get on the couch after the wine, smoking a little, that Thai bud or some of that chocolate Thai, or just some of that Cali bud or that Colorado bud, and y'all laying on the couch and you're laying in his arms and he's got his arms around you, and you have that feeling that everything is going to be all right and you're safe and you're secure and you're nice and warm and toasty because you're under the blanket with the man you're falling in love with, or you're already in love with him. That's homeostasis. Everything feels right. I am where I'm supposed to be. My meter is where it's supposed to be. When you grow up in an unbalanced home where there's one parent and there should be two, these children never establish what homeostasis is. Now, I'm not saying that a person can grow up in a home with two parents and their parents be two maniacs, or one is a maniac, or they're physically abusive, and the mama just sits there and lets the daddy be physically abusive against her children. There's sometimes that even kids that come out of homes that have both parents, that there's going to be some emotional scars there. But there's still, I guarantee they still had some level of homeostasis at some point. That's what I'm trying to refer to. And some of the key words that we're talking about here in the definition, the tendency toward a relatively stable equilibrium between interdependent elements. What is talking about with interdependent, they're saying that they're like an element would be your career, your job. You're a copyright at a publishing company. You make $70,000 a year. You have a degree in English literature from NYU. You survived all the racism and all the other crap that comes along with going to NYU as an African American woman or man. And you fight to get that homeostasis. A person who grows up in a single female-headed household does not know what homeostasis is, because you can't feel safe around a bunch of women. Children feel nurtured, but they don't necessarily feel safe without that male figure. I have seen with psychological tests on babies where the baby would be crying, and as soon as the father would be in earshot of the baby and maybe start singing or go, hey baby, go, hi baby, or go, hey, something like that, the baby will calm down. And when you women take away that, just for 18 years of child support so that you could be on some sexual revolution where you could run around and say, hey, I can fuck anybody I want to fuck now. I can bring any old pair of pants in here now. And you live a harlot's lifestyle. But the problem is, when you get old as fuck, you can't run that game no more. And then they do what, fellas? What do they do, fellas? You guessed it. They go on online dating. And they go on there faking, shaking, and lying. And trying to deceive somebody with their bullshit. But they never maintain homeostasis. And they go out here, like I was just saying before I cut myself off. They go out here and get all these degrees, and they say you survived NYU, and you never obtain homeostasis through making $150,000 a year and buying stuff. Even though you get that condo, that $500,000 condo in an area, in a building where it's nothing but people who are balling, and you're the maybe lone black man or woman in that building, and you're like a pink elephant. When people see you, they go, damn, there's some nigger in here? Oh my God, there's niggers in here. He must be the help. Okay? They see you and start grabbing their purses. Whether you're a black man or a woman, it don't matter. And they say, well, how this nigger get in here? No, that's what they're going to say. And you get in there, you still don't have homeostasis because you never had a man in your life. Men represent security and safety, much like a security system in a business structure or a home, a residence. It's the same thing. A man, it's just like one of my cousin's wives that I used to be real close to. That used to be my we used to watch what used to watch on Sunday. We used to watch Desperate Housewives when it first came on. Me and her used to watch that. That was my TV buddy. And she said to me one time, she said, sometimes me and her husband would go out of town together because he worked for a federal agency doing some work, and he used to bring me along to help him out. And sometimes it would be so he'd have to go, 150, 200 miles away, and he would call and say, hey, I'm not coming home. So it would only be her, and they just had a baby. So the baby back then, she was probably only about 4 or 5 years, maybe 3 or 4 years old. And so she was about 5. She was about 5 or 6. And then the boy was there, and the son was there. So I think he's probably about 12, 13 then. He's about 11 or 12. So she used to say, hey, I don't really like it when y'all be out of town. Yeah, so, and then sometimes what he would do is call me, since I only lived about a block away. He said, hey man, can you sleep on the couch? Cause the wife is scared. And I'm like, yeah, no problem, no problem, dude. Yeah. No problem. So I would come over and, sleep on the couch, watch TV, say, hey, yeah, man, watch all TV you want, whatever. And I come over there and spend, and then when he show up in the daytime, I say, hey, man, hey, I'm gonna go and do what I gotta do, and I'm gonna split. So, but women, when a woman has a man in the house, because I've had women who told me that maybe we start dating and maybe they hadn't dated in a minute. The first thing they would say, man, it sure is nice to have a man in the house. And I'm like, damn, there's so many ways you can obtain homeostasis, but the basic needs have to be met. You have to have a full belly. You have to have enough water. You have to have access to optimum sewage and fresh water delivery, so you can bathe and cook. All those needs have to be met, and if one or two of them are out of whack, it throws the balance of all the other ones off. You can't feel secure when you got an empty belly. You can't feel secure if you don't have shelter. Yeah, you got a full belly, but you don't have shelter. You can go eat at the Mission downtown and get a full belly of slop. Well, all they're gonna give you is a bunch of nasty ass fucking pasta and shit to stop your fucking arteries and your goddamn your colon up. So they'll fill you. They do that to give you food to fill you up, so you won't be so you can feel full. And so it's kind of a cruel joke if you really look at it. So what they'll do is fill them full of pasta, feed them, but then they ain't got nowhere for them to sleep. So you see what I'm saying? Y'all see where I'm going with this? If you don't have shelter, but you got a full belly, you still cannot obtain that equilibrium you need to grasp and correlate between your interdependent elements, like your career, where you live. Do you feel safe where you live? Economically, where do I stand in the geopolitical, socioeconomic status? Where do I fall in? Am I middle class? Am I upper middle class? Am I upper class? Am I ruling class? Or am I poor? Am I part of the working poor, where I'm underemployed, but I barely have all these resources enough to keep a roof over my head? Y'all see where I'm going with this? This is why we have to be collective in what we do and look at the economics of how you build a community. The reason why black people live in neighborhoods is because we don't live in communities. Communities are places where people live, and they are shareholders, they're stakeholders in the politics, the economics first, and then the politics, in the society of their communities. That's the interdependent elements. You got to be able to take all of that when you want a sum total of all of the elements in your micro society. At the end of the day, can I have homeostasis, at least, especially as a black man in America and living under a system of white supremacy and racism? If I can maintain 85 to 90%, I'd be happy of homeostasis. Very seldom do I feel homeostasis because of the racism and white supremacy in this country. Even though I feel safe sitting in my crib right now, and yeah, I've had some pretty good bud. I cooked a gourmet dinner. Had some ravioli. Had me a nice little dinner. Had a little wine. I feel I have homeostasis right now. But because of my combat experience, sometimes that stuff screws up my homeostasis, where I feel a certain way, but my condition, the condition that I'm living in, I should feel homeostasis based on my lifestyle. Y'all see where I'm going with this? And so this is why I say, and I made a video about 6 years ago called "You Don't Want to Be a Single Mom in America," and I got a lot of flack from a lot of women. They was posted a lot of evil comments talking shit, and I said, look, y'all, look, the one thing we have to start doing, we have to start calling out bad behavior. And what black women didn't realize is that when YouTube got created, that gave black men a platform to start fighting back, because for so many years black women have been joining with the white supremacists and cooning and being Negro bedwenches, and they joined in with our oppressors, trying to badmouth black men and say black men ain't shit. When I'm gonna tell you right now, there's a lot more ain't shit white men out here than it is anybody else. But see, white people don't put their people on trial like we do. We put our people on trial. White people just hide their hood rats, and they don't elevate their hood rats. Yeah, they'll make shows like Roseanne and make fun of trailer trash, but they still gave Roseanne's characters some dignity. I mean, Roseanne wasn't my cup of tea, but I have looked at it, and when I was stuck in hotels or stuck in airports or whatever, and I can tell you straight up, Roseanne's show, they still gave those people some dignity. They wasn't total podunk ass white folks, if you remember. Anyway, single motherhood is under attack, black women. And those of you who got yourselves caught in the crosshairs of poverty and thinking you slick by having babies and screwing these men over in child support court and playing all these little silly ass games, let me explain something to you. Just like I thought, Trump said that they about to do. Now, this, I don't think they're going to do it, but this will really benefit a lot of you guys that are out of work. What he's what he's talking about putting together $1 trillion for infrastructure reform. That he wants to go around the whole country and add freeways where we need to add freeways, light rail. That's why a lot of cities right now that don't have light rail, they're doing a whole lot of assessments and all this kind of stuff, so they can get that federal money. Because that's going to be, those grants are just going to be blank checks. So, and I used to date this white girl whose family is the top and really the only heavy construction contractor in that region, because they also do drilling for oil and fracking and doing that kind of stuff. When I started dating her, I didn't know who she was. But then when I started doing research, I found out who her family was. When I started, one time she had went to the office and I was laying in bed and I went downstairs. She had this big ass $400,000 house, and I went down in the basement and I started looking in all these pictures and stuff, and she was doing polo and all this other kind of stuff. She went to boarding school and all of this stuff. This stuff she tried to hide from me. But I found out who her family was. But anyway, this could be good for you guys, because I know out there in LA when they built the I-105 freeway, that was a 10-year project, and it was a multi-billion-dollar project where they built 15 miles of freeway, and they had to buy a whole lot of real estate. And the sections where they built most of the bridges were in black neighborhoods. Yeah, they gave market rate. They gave them market rate for their houses, but still, they were quick to build that freeway through the hood. And I could tell you exactly where it is. But that project started in the early 80s and didn't end until like 91, 92, when that freeway opened. I mean, it was almost $1 trillion project building that new freeway, because they needed to ease traffic in LA. So now you can go in a total circle around the whole city. Used to couldn't do that. But those contractors were just hiring, because I talked to some brothers that worked on that project, and they said, man, that was a good job. They said, man, you could work all the overtime you wanted, and learning how to work with concrete. You learn a lot of stuff. But when that 10-year project was over, them guys had to go find other jobs, and a lot of people were getting hurt. So this project right here, and they said they're going to be hiring veterans. So this is going to be a boom. And they're going to have to do it because there's too many bridges falling in this country, killing people. But I'm still doubtful that he's going to do it. I'm skeptical. And I won't even say I'm cautiously optimistic, because that would be a wrong determination. What I would say is I gotta wait and see attitude. I'm like, yeah, we'll see. But one thing he did say that I know that what he's gonna do, and this also goes back to homeostasis, and I'll get back to that in a minute as it relates to what I'm talking about. Well, I'm getting ready to start talking about is welfare reform. I knew Trump was gonna get around to saying that they were going to do welfare reform. Because, again, the number one thing he wants to do is undo everything Obama did. And secondly, he wants to copy everything Reagan did. And thirdly and finally, he just wants to get up there and treat this as a celebrity, treat his presidency as a celebrity platform. That's really all he's doing. He's making a mockery of the presidency. But that's just my subjective opinion. Anyway, welfare reform ain't gonna be Bill Clinton's welfare reform, people. First of all, he's gonna fix it so these illegal aliens ain't gonna be able to come over here and get no free, have anchor babies and come over here and get free welfare. That's the first thing. I'm gonna tell you, that's gonna be one of the part of the issues in that block grant, because you gotta understand something. It used to be that if to get welfare 30 years ago, all you had to do was just go down there and just say, hey, I need a place to stay. I can hear my kids. I ain't got no man, and they went right then and took care of you. They didn't have no shelters. They didn't have all that bullshit. Right off the bat, they got you a place to stay. Now, it was in places where you weren't safe. Remember, we're talking about homeostasis, black women. They're going to give you an apartment, but it's going to be in the hood. They're going to give you an apartment, but, you're going to have a white toilet. And, you know how you go over ghetto people's house and they got doo-doo floating in the toilet? Landlord won't fix my damn toilet. He won't fix my toilet. Doo-doo. That's why doo-doo sitting in there. Just try to pee around the doo-doo. Don't pee right on the doo-doo because they'll pop out. Just pee around the doo-doo. That's how you gonna be living. Toilets running over with pee water and poop water all over the damn floor. And then you walking around with tight ass stuff on with your booty hanging all out. Time I need me a nigga out there go pay these damn bills, girl. Shit. These broke ass niggas over here. This nigga just want to lay up and fuck, smoke weed and fuck all day. Oh, nigga. Think he gonna come over here and get me high and pull my panties down. Shit. Girl, that only worked with the first 2 kids. Oh, dirty dick nigga. But anyway, this welfare reform black women's getting ready, it's gonna tear y'all ass. Okay? That bill is gonna spank that booty so bad. Because I'm telling you right now, they're gonna get these illegal aliens, they're gonna stop this illegal alien shit. Because what they're gonna do is gonna set them block grants up. See, it used to be entitlement. See, welfare used to be considered entitlement. That's why I say all the women had to do was just go down there and say, hey, I'm in need. You didn't have to bring nothing but maybe your driver's license or a state ID, and that was it. You didn't have to bring your light bill, copy of your light bill, your lease, and all that other kind of shit. You didn't have to do all that. Now you do. through TANF. Now you do. It went from entitlement to means test. What I mean by means test is you have to fill out paperwork and they ask what your income is. And based on your income or no income or lack of income, that's how they give you, they figure out how much services to give you. You got a job, but you ain't got no man in the house, and you only make 95% of the rent. So what they're going to do is say, okay, well, we're going to put you on Section 8. We're going to subsidize, we're going to give you a rent voucher. So basically, we're going to pay your rent. We're going to pay for you to break up your relationship between you and your boyfriend or you and your husband so you can live in wallow in niggerdom and welfare. Is that let me ask you black women something. Is it better to live single and have all them herpes sick dinglings going in and out of you and having your own place and getting 18 years of child support and nigger trinkets? Or is it better to have your man in the house and have security and safety and homeostasis? I'm not saying you can have this, you're going to be able to have this with every man. And a lot of black women, because of how they're raised in a desperation mentality household. They don't you're probably going to end up getting a man that's from the same kind of background you're from. He's going to be slick. He's going to be manipulative. He's going to be just like you. And that's the kind of women, that's the kind of men a lot of you women attract. So when a lot of y'all go around here talking about niggas ain't shit, but you ain't dated responsible, tax-paying brothers like me, you painting us all with a broad brush. If you ain't never dated a decent black man, you can't go around saying all black men ain't shit. When all you've dated is Ray Rays and Pookies. And Junebug. Well, now I'm going to leave Junebug out of it. I must sleep with thy wife. Boy, the Mormons, boy, they crack me up, man. Anyway, I would rather have, if I was a woman, I'd rather have a man in the house than to be getting child support. Because a lot of you women don't manage your money. And if managing money ain't a woman's forte. Okay? See, you have to understand, when you start screwing around with men and women's roles in the home, you're going to have a whole lot of problems. And it'll get farther and farther from homeostasis. See, this is mental health. See, I'm just giving y'all a taste of what I learned over the 3 years that I went through that Master's in Social Work program with an emphasis in psychotherapy. I'm just giving y'all a taste of the science of mental health and psycho. See, when you go into mental health, really what they're teaching you is psychopathology. And a lot of what I talk about with black men and black women's behavior, because we are the product of white supremacy and racism and social engineering, what I keep telling black folks is this: we are a product. We're not humans. We're a product to America. So if you're a product, it's okay to kill you. If you're a product, you're not a human being. So, and then through the 13th Amendment, we didn't actually free the slaves. We didn't actually free you. So we see you as property. We see that with the NFL. Ezekiel Elliott, the young brother that's number 21 that plays for the Dallas Cowboys, plays running back, Ohio State. I've been following him since he was at Ohio State. Great running back. I said he's going to be great because he was running over people in college. They punished him for dating a white girl. And of course, Roger Goodell ain't going to admit it, but that's what they suspended him for 6 games for pumping and dumping a white girl. He was dating this little punk ass white girl. He fucked her 2 or 3 times, then dumped her ass. He probably, she was probably his starter bitch. She's probably a little 6 out of, she's about a 6. She was a decent looking white girl. She wasn't fine, but she was decent. She was a good starter bitch. And he got with her, and through training camp, he stayed with her he kicked it with her most of his rookie year. And then after his rookie year, he dumped her ass. And so what she did is she told her friends she was going to lie and say that he beat her up. And even, Jerry Jones had Dallas police. They had they went and, had hired private investigators to get the cell phone records of hers to prove. And then they had her friends even came in and testified that she said she was going to try to ruin him by lying and saying he beat her up and she put those marks on herself. And they had all that evidence, showed it to the NFL, said, look, it's this she's setting him up. This is a travesty, this is a fraud. And Roger Goodell said, hey, we're going to suspend him anyway. That's fine and dandy, but we're going to suspend his ass anyway. They suspended Ezekiel Elliott for 6 games for fucking with a white girl. Y'all can sit up here and keep talking that, post-racial bullshit if you want to. They are showing black people, look, we can punish you and we can reward you. You cannot punish white society for mistreating you. You can't do it. But you can do it you can't do it individually, but you can do it collectively. That's why when you hear small business owners like me, black small business owners who preach Garveyism and preach collective tribal black economics, supporting black businesses and providing employment to the black people in the community. I've been preaching that for damn near 10 years now. Come on, get real. Damn good and well that's what that I've always teach support black owned businesses. Some of you have started doing it like I have, but then some of you, you're like, hey, fuck the Iceman. Fuck that old nigga. He just talking shit. I ain't supporting shit. I'm gonna keep buying these video games, making these little white boy, little nigga nerd white boys rich. Okay? Talk all the shit you want about the Iceman. Say what you want to say about me. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I know what's going on. I know what's about to pop off. Like I predicted that economic collapse. I just didn't predict how deep it would go and how far reaching it would be, where it damn near wrecked countries. You had countries whose companies had invested in Wall Street their whole retirement for their whole country. And they lost all their money. That's how bad that shit was. That's why I try to explain how you take power away from people when you can punish them economically. But we can't seem to put ourselves in the position to do that because you guys hate each other. Or you want to compete against each other. I get tired of that's one thing I hate about working in corporations, because you come to work, if there's at least one other brother in your department, the first thing he tries to do is show all the white people that he ain't black, and secondly he tries to make you he'll make sure that he lets you know that he ain't your bro. And that he's there for the white guys or the Mexican guys that work there. Very seldom do I ever work somewhere, or did I ever work anywhere where there was another black person and we got along as friends. Especially black women. Because that's why I used to think the only reason why they would hire me is because they thought I was a coon. Which maybe I did play that role in the interviews. And then they were like, why, they'll say stuff like this. Well, you seem like a different person after we hired you. I'm like, man, fuck you. Fuck you, cracker. You can kiss my ass. You goddamn right I fooled your ass. They realized I wasn't the suck butt nigga that they thought I was when I went and interviewed for the job. I played they fucking asses. Anyway, this welfare reform is getting ready to tear some asses up. And I'm telling you right now, black women, you done been fucking up. You done fucked up. Okay? You've been fucking up, sisters. Not all of you, but a good number of you have. And it's time to, I ain't saying we should give you amnesty, but we need to sit down and we need to iron this shit out. Because your bedwenching it didn't get you nowhere. Bedwenching was and swirling was the flavor of the day. That's what it was during the 8 years that Obama was in office. That's all you got out of it. You got all the fat, ugly black women got a little bit of shine during the 8 years that, because, Obama was talking that unity bullshit, talking about yes, we can. So you had all the fat, greasy black women around the world thinking, hey, I'm somebody. But these are also the women that are mad at black men, but yet they got black kids. And they join forces with these folks. And they talk that swirling shit and go get you a white man, black woman. And as soon as Trump got in there, they attacking LGBT folks too. Oh, Pence is on the warpath. They going at, now they said they ain't gonna go directly for. I think Trump said he's not gonna make going after gay marriage a big deal right now. But you best believe he gets reelected for another four years if he decides to run again, which he will, because his ego will run. Maybe he won't be running, but his ego will run for a second term. Let me tell you something. If Trump get in there for a second term, ooh-wee, don't be surprised if black folks be in concentration camps. Don't be surprised. Because they're already using algorithms to... I saw this on 60 Minutes tonight. in Chicago, they're already using an algorithm to determine whether some of these black men are going to be violent criminals, whether they're going to use the gun or they're going to be the recipient of the business end of a gun with a bullet. I was sitting there like, wow, they're using technology to round up black men. And so you got cops and social workers and all these so-called community people going around to each one of these guys' houses trying to get them to, get out of a life of crime and gangs and stuff like that on the south side and west side of Chicago. Can you believe this? They didn't talk to not one white dude who any of them algorithms were going to spit out, oh, you need to go over here to Joey's house and pick his crazy white ass up. They didn't show them picking up no Latinos. They didn't show them picking up no white dudes. They over there on the south side trying to use a soft target approach and smile and say, hi, well, we did this algorithm and T-Rod, it said that you're going to be susceptible to either being a victim of gun violence or you're going to be the one dishing it out. And so we talking to you and let you know we going to arrest you. That's Nazi shit. If you don't believe me, go on CBS.com or go to 60minutes.com and look at it online. If you don't believe me. Using algorithms to go around rounding up black men. Now they doing it using an algorithm. The next time they do it, they're going to be coming with chains and locks and guns and badges. You see what they doing to our brothers? And if they're going to start doing this in Chicago, you can best believe they're going to do it in other areas of the country. Now, one thing I found interesting is that New York City only had 286 murders in 2017 as compared to 4,000 or 5,000 just 15 years ago. And I find it interesting how they said murders are way down to 286. Not saying that's great because 286 people lost their lives. What I'm saying is that they can't sell that law and order crap to us anymore. Because if you use New York City as a model, you see that stop and frisk, it doesn't make sense to have stop and frisk if violent crime like murder, homicides are way down in the hundreds from thousands during the crack era. So the approach has to change because the war on drugs hasn't been effective and it was racist policy. But Trump ain't playing. They coming after poor people. They're coming after anybody who's poor. Because they even said that that Trump's base, all of these so-called deplorables, trailer trash, they said that now a lot of them are questioning Trump because they're saying that they really feel a lot of Trump's policies are hurting them. And you know what I say to that? Celebrate good time, come on. Da, 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 da. It's a celebration. That's what I say to that. That's what you get for voting that demonic motherfucker in the office. Fuck out of here, man. Sitting on top of the trailer, sitting on top of the mobile home trailer, double wide, complaining, eating a mayonnaise sandwich, complaining. Fuck out of here. You brought that shit on yourself. Big Scooby-Doo looking motherfucker. You brought that shit on yourself. See, that's what happened to people who ain't doing nothing but sucking off the system themselves. But Trump about to dig in that ass, man, with them taxes and that welfare reform. Because I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to get them, they're going to stop that anchor baby shit with this new welfare bill. They are going to drug test now. Now, a lot of states already went back to that. See, during the Obama administration, they shot that down. But they got it instituted, I believe, again. Finally, they got it passed in a lot of these southern states. And a lot of other states are following suit. So all of these women that want to lay around and roll, switch your sweets all morning and get fucked in the ass and in the pussy all morning and make more babies. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, when I've lived especially in San Antonio, you see a lot of that. You could be, coming out of your apartment and you see the little stinky booty, little stanky, little black chicks and Mexican chicks going down to the convenience store, Chevron convenience store, to get some Black and Mild so they can roll some blunts. Or they going to get some Swisher Sweets so they can go roll some blunts and then get fucked all afternoon and sleep all day. Shit, I can't even do that. I would love to just be laying up in some pussy all day. But that ain't something that creates anything. So I'm not really trying to roll. I ain't trying to roll like that. Anyway, the fallacy of black men living a happy life with a white woman or just by watching TV. I know what you're thinking. How can somebody be dumb enough to be influenced by that? Well, you know what? If you show something to somebody enough times, they start believing it, even if it's subliminal. And they know that. And that's why they keep rolling these same images in these movies and on TV, because that's what you see. That's what you see. Outside of work, when you come home, what do you see? White supremacy and racism, and almost, it's a weaponized. You got to understand something. White supremacy and racism weaponizes everything in a white-dominated society. What white people are experts at are weaponizing everything. And these bills that they pass through Congress, they're weapons. The Welfare Reform Act, Omnibus Act of 1996 that Bill Clinton pushed through Congress and got passed, that bill is an example of weaponization. Because it criminalized child support and made child support a crime if you're in arrears. But what they don't tell you is, even if you're not in arrears, you're still considered to be a criminal if you're paying child support. A little less of that now, but back in the day when I first started paying child support, they tried to make it a hellish experience. And it shouldn't be. But it shows you how much loyalty that these women have for their men. that they don't even try to give the men a chance to financially support their children. Because these women want to be greedy. And they know they can run to the white man and do that to you and me. But I'm going to tell you right now, this Welfare Reform Act that he's getting ready to try, he's going to get it passed. Because they got a majority in the House and the Senate. They're going to pass both of them bills. They're going to pass them through both chambers of Congress. And they're going to get that bill passed. And then Trump's going to sign it. But it's going to have a whole bunch of stuff in it. There's going to be a lot of, see what they do is they get a big bill. And then they hide a bunch of stuff in it. They hide a bunch of stuff in it like pork. What they call pork. Entitlement stuff. Salvation Army's budget is in there. They're talking about special interests. And they hide all this other pork fat underneath. It's like somebody trying to fake being pregnant so they walking around with a pillow under their shirt. Trying to look pregnant, but they look ridiculous. That's what I mean. And they're trying to sit up here and sell black folks that all you got to do is marry somebody of another race, preferably somebody Caucasian, and look how much better your life will be. And that's a lie. Because those folks in them other races, they care about themselves. They don't care about us. And even though they may be dating black men or they dating black women, you can best believe it's a fetish. And it's not serious. And they're still weaponizing their penis. The white man even weaponizes his penis, and the white woman definitely weaponizes her vagina through feminism. No matter what you do, whether you get the pussy or not, you getting weaponized. You getting the business end of a weapon. And that's why you can never win. You can never win. That's why when you see a lot of these Negro bedwenches married to white dudes, especially white dudes that got money, you can best believe that black woman is letting that white man put his penis in every orifice of her body, and she's doing all kind of role play and slave and Negro bedwench type role playing and all that kind of stuff. Let me tell you something. They ain't nothing but a black slut when they get put in those, when they allow themselves to be put in them kind of situations. And that's the only reason why that white man is even with them. Now, I will say that I have dated white women that were multi-millionaires. But I will tell you this, they didn't share none of that money with my black ass. They didn't say, here, take this $100,000 and go do this. They kept out. They just wanted some black dick. And I played the Mandingo role for as long as I could. I played the Mandingo role as long as I could. But after a while, I got tired of it. And when I came to, because I was definitely delusional, and I realized that, my inclusion was just an illusion, I grew a brain and started realizing, hey, I was wrong. Those white women who I had sex with, they was just using me like a black hoe. Okay? I was just a hoe to them. I was just a hoe to them with a big dick. That was it. To those white women. Because, some of them had money, some of them didn't. But the purpose was the same. And you don't understand weaponization. When you think weapons, you think the military. You think a paramilitary organization like a police department or a state police agency or federal police agency. That's what you think when you say weapons. We don't understand what weaponization means, Iceman. What I'm trying to break it down for you. And what I'm telling you guys is this. Every white supremacists, they weaponize everything. And the biggest weapon they have against you is the law. And the propaganda and teaching us all to hate each other so we don't support each other. We have to support each other financially or we disappear. How many people do you know black business owners have disappeared because black people didn't support them? I went to a black-owned restaurant last week, and it was they got 2 locations. They got a satellite location and they got their main location. I'm going to go over to their main location to eat. Now, the food was good, but they took 30 minutes to cook catfish and wings. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, you got to be kidding me. And then they had a white dude back there. He was a chef back there. They had some half white, half black dude back there cooking. I mean, the food was good, but man, I was just like, 30 minutes? And then it was expensive. The expensive was, it was expensive. The restaurant was a dump. I mean, it was a dump. I ain't going back to that location. I'm gonna go to the main location where the owners are. The owners were I could tell they don't never come in there. But I support them, but I ain't gonna go to that location again. I'm gonna go to their main location. I'm so glad I found a black restaurant up here. But like I be trying to tell y'all, man, do you even make the effort? That's why, I tell guys sit up here, they say, well, Iceman, I'm just be coming on YouTube just to be listening to videos. And I say, man, you might as well use YouTube as a resource so you can get something out of it. Instead of just being on here looking at stuff and listening to amuse yourself. You can still educate yourself. It still be amusing. Because there's plenty of stuff, learning materials on YouTube. You can learn how to ride a motorcycle on YouTube. You can learn how to landscape. You can learn how to do electrical work. It's all on here. But most of us, we don't think that. We don't think like an entrepreneur, like a hustler. Entrepreneur, man, I ain't nothing but a hustler. That's all I am. I'm a visionary. I'm somewhat idealistic, but I'm a visionary. My talent is I can see things 3 to 4, 5, 6 years down the road. And I make adjustments now with my lifestyle and my businesses. That's what I'm good at. But we have to start thinking in terms of collective economics. We have to start, and that's what I tell guys, as they say, hey, Ice, well, you should create a subscription service where you have premium videos. I did that for 2 years, and then people just weren't consistent. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to do that no more. Then I set up my new nonprofit, and I said, well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you guys buy my book? Because I talk a lot about trying to find equilibrium in your life, and especially in the first 2 chapters. Who am I? What am I? I don't know if people take me seriously, because that particular, my book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1, is going to be the precursor to volume 2, which I'm going to write after I finish the dating Bible, which I'm writing right now. But guys, you have to understand something here. Trump is a all-encompassing white supremacist, card-carrying white supremacist. And his goal is to weaponize these laws that he is signing into existence. He ain't playing. And I know people look at him twittering and writing tweets and all that kind of stuff and not taking him seriously. Just like Obama, he's weaponizing the law. And guess who they're weaponizing the law against? You guessed it, black people. And I'm just one of the guys that are out here who are complaining and yelling at and trying to get your attention to get you to see that this is going to be on the horizon. Because most of the people who listen to me are going to be some of these people who are going to be hurt by some of these policies. Not me, you. You're the ones who's going to be hurt. And some of you are too selfish and too cheap to even buy a book, let alone check out a book from the library for free for you to go learn something. So, because going to college is a total waste unless you're going into STEM. Unless you're going into science, technology, engineering, and math. You're wasting your time. Now, if you want to learn how to code, you got YouTube videos to teach you how to code. You have no excuse. You don't have to go get a computer science degree. You don't have to have a computer science degree. You dig? But the problem with us is we have a 500-year social engineering that makes us helpless. It makes us helpless. And so you don't have that entrepreneurial spirit. You don't have that hustler spirit. And you're taught to take it out on me or others like me. I ain't supporting the Iceman. Fuck him. Fuck that old nigga. I ain't helping that nigga buy a Benz. Well, something in my book could probably help you. And even though you're too cheap and you're too chick as shit to invest in your education, thank God hundreds of you invested and bought my book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman Volume 1. And I thank you for supporting me. But I know there's going to be a lot of black men and black women who are going to listen to this video and say, fuck the Iceman, fuck what he stand for, and fuck his book. You're going to say that. And I can't, there's nothing I can say to change your mind. But I'm going to tell you right now, maybe you might come back and listen to this video a year from now and might say, hey, you know what, that guy ain't that bad. I'm not Creflo Dollar. And a lot of you guys hate, some of you guys hate me because I tell the truth. I tell the truth. I don't sit here in these videos and try to bullshit you like a lot of people do. I'm not on here to get views. I'm on here to educate. What I do is edutainment. Yeah, I talk a little shit here and there. Sometimes I do get on black women. But it's from a position of love. I don't hate black women. I'm disgusted by your behavior and your ideology. You cannot align yourselves with Caucasian women because they will always be your mortal enemy. And now you're seeing that with Trump, and you're sitting up here trying to act like all of a sudden America was loving the last 8 years, and now all of a sudden now America's this whole horrible place to be because Trump is president. A president is a figurehead, nothing else. That is all a president is. He's window dressing that's covering a most sinister system and a handful of engineers who are the puppeteers of this charade called white supremacy and racism. And I'm sorry to say, you black women have bought into it, and now you think you're on the same level as white people, and you're not. And Trump and Pence has taught you a lesson in thinking you can align yourself with your oppressor, black women. I see all these black women trying to, hang around white women and try to fake like they got some money. And maybe some of these sisters do have some money. But when it's all said and done, sooner or later those white friends of yours are going to show you that they are not your friends, and that they enjoy white supremacy and racism and oppressing you. And then you have to find out the hard way that you and Becky and them are not on the same level socioeconomically. Socially, you are considered to be a second-class citizen in America. And when it comes down to it, they're going to show you. That's why you very seldom see really pretty black women with pretty white girls. Very seldom do you see that. I'm talking about like Sally Richardson fine. You never see real pretty or like Alicia Keys, them kind of black women. You'll never see them kind of black women hanging with, you'll never see no really pretty white girls with money that come from money hanging around them. And you know why? Because they look down on you. Now, they might use you to maybe meet some black guys if that's what they in, because some of these white girls are into that fetish crap. But after a while, if they can't find anything to use you, if they can't use you, they get rid of you. I've had plenty of so-called white friends who I've hung out with because of work or wherever I met these people. And as soon as we have a difference of opinion where I talk to them about their sexual deviancy or some other things that they do that I find is creepy and weird and infringes upon my core values, then all of a sudden I don't hear from them no more. And that's fine. Because I don't need none of them no way. And I knew they were just trying to use me. They maybe showed me resources and maybe I was about that back then, and then in exchange for that, they want information on how they can get with black women. So I don't play that. I don't play those games anymore. Can y'all dig that? I don't play them games no more. Ain't about that life. So I guess what I'm saying, people, is this. Donald Trump may be out in the open with his racism, people, but I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of stuff they're doing behind the scenes. One thing they're doing, they've been sending Navy SEALs in and out of Iran. And the CIA has a very, they have a lot of assets in Iran. And what they're doing right now is creating unrest. And that's what they do. If they can't, because what they want to do is get to the Ayatollah. Now they can't get to him. Now they might have got to Yasser Arafat, but they ain't gonna get to the Ayatollah, whoever the supreme leader is. That's who they want to get at. He's in some kind of cave or some kind of he don't never come out. He does not come and hang out with the people, with the citizenry. He does not do that. He might talk to them on TV with a state-ran media. He may give a message to them because they're in a theocracy, or what's considered to be that. But their supreme leader, I don't know if they call him the Ayatollah or whatever, but anyway, America would love to get rid of him, but they ain't gonna never get to him. So, and their prime minister is kind of a figurehead. He's even more of a figurehead than our president. He has very little power over the government, and he's just really just an ambassador. He's just somebody to go around and talk about, to be the face of their country, but that's it. But what they're trying to do is create unrest. That's what the CIA is doing. The CIA has something to do with Zimbabwe, but that's another video. But the CIA, that's what they do. They go and they create political instability by paying people stuff, paying people money, and then going to opposition groups and funding their cause. But they do it on the low. Next thing you know, you got protests going on. Because Iran, even when I was living in Europe, even back then they were talking about how Iran was, had high unemployment amongst people under 30. And see, they're using that to their advantage. They use that to their advantage. They sure did. They used that to their advantage. My question to you is, are you paying attention? Are you paying attention to what they're doing, people? I've been screaming from the hilltops, trying to wake people up. Wake up, people. Wake up. You notice the Latino groups have been very quiet because they're going to be, after they come out with this welfare reform, they're going to shut these Hispanics down. Some of these Hispanics are going to be hurting because their whole economy depends on welfare and handouts. And they send those resources back to their countries. So if they're throwing their people out, along with their children, their anchor babies, and then denying them resources, because really once you cut them resources off, they already not taking the chance to come across the border. Have y'all heard that? They said illegal immigration has dropped 40%. And once they put that section of the fence up, which they gonna haggle and try to put on political theater, but in the end they're gonna build that wall. They might not get it up, they might not get it finished by his first term, but I guarantee they'll be working on it. Because once they put that fence up, it's gonna be nearly impossible for them to cross that book, to get over that fence. And even the Mexican government. How you going to see this? This is what would tell you about how hypocritical the Mexican government is. You're gonna sit here and pretty much deny your people and have rampant state and federal level corruption. You're going to sit up here and get mad at the United States because they don't want your raggedy ass fucking people crossing and coming over into our country begging and sucking up resources. You have to understand the basis for a lot of these young poor white people voting for Trump is based on race. Because he's the first Republican candidate who said out loud, I'm going to get rid of them suckers. And I'm going to make their lives in America live in hell. You have to understand, Mexico thrives, especially the first, 300 miles south of Mexico. Even actually the whole country benefits when they send that $30 billion back to Mexico. So if you start cutting that off, what you think gonna happen? And you got the Mexican government getting on state TV in Mexico talking, pleading to America not to pass these racist laws that weaponizes immigration. We already got laws in the books that say don't bring your ass over here illegally, but they're you see, this is why they don't get any sympathy, because as far as America goes, they'll put laws on the books and sometimes they won't enforce them. And then when they start enforcing them, then people start getting pissy and getting angry. When actually these laws are already on the books. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, when this welfare reform thing goes through, it's gonna be a lot of. You gotta understand something. His base is a lot of these people who are sitting around on SSI. These white people who are sitting around on SSI and welfare, sucking up resources, eating mayonnaise sandwiches. These are the folks that voted for Trump. Because what they're really voting for is, are they going to keep them niggers in their places? That's what they really vote. When white people vote, that's what they're voting for. Whether they're voting for a Democrat or Republican. Are you going to keep them niggers in their place? And that's what really set them off, was this guy is willing to say what we're thinking. Don't get it twisted. This is our time to come together, people. Are you going to take this see, we just came out of another Christmas cycle. How many of you guys sat up here and spent your retirement, and your grandkids' inheritance during Christmas vacation? How many of you guys went out there and spent hundreds, even thousands of dollars buying gifts for badass kids in your family or relatives in your family don't give a fuck about you? How many of you guys do that shit? If half the black people decided that between Black Friday and Christmas that we ain't gonna spend no money on stuff we don't need anyway, or buying gifts for unappreciative relatives and so-called loved ones, if we decided half of us wasn't gonna do it, we damn near shut down Wall Street. If we start recognizing our collective spending potential and our income potential, look at it as a black diaspora rather than, okay, I'm just on the south side of Chicago and that's all I care about. When you look at this white supremacy, racism machine and system globally, you realize you got to look at this thing on a global scale because the implications are global. And so what they're doing and what Mexico doesn't like is that America is putting together another weaponized law that's going to cut down on their free money. Mexico is the 20th richest country in the world, and they're sitting up here whining and complaining and boo-hooing. Talking about we're a poor Latin American country. They ain't that goddamn poor. They got rampant corruption in Mexico. It ain't as bad as America ain't as bad as Mexico, but Mexico's corruption is horrible. It's horrible. They have no middle class. All they have in Mexico is rich Mexicans and poor Mexicans. That's it. You study Mexican economics, and you're gonna come to the same conclusion I came to. Why are these people so poor? Well, it's because they have a culture of corruption in their from the top to the bottom in their government. You say something. Mexico is a lot like how the Italian mafia ran Chicago and New York. That's how their government structure is. It's just totally corrupt. But it's a damn system and it's a machine. And the only way to stop a machine is to throw a monkey wrench in their plans. But you can't do that if you're not united. And I get tired of black people talking that nonsense, talking about, we ain't monolithic, we're different. Yeah, we can be different, but our politics have to, and our economic game has to be all on one accord. We all have to look at how do all of us, whether we think differently of each other or not, how do we still reach the same goal of moving all of us forward? See, we still on this me shit. It's all about me. Instead of saying, well, shit, if they weaponize another law, how is that going to affect us? Is that going to keep us? Is that going to break our families up? See, we don't think about any of that shit. And I'm trying to get you guys to think beyond yourselves. Sometimes you have to look through life through other people's fucking eyes. Instead of just looking at shit through your little fucked up eyes. But people, let me tell you something. Being a single mom, you cannot establish homeostasis. You can't have any balanced equilibrium in your life. And see, that whole single mom, woe is me, look at me, I'm a single mom, feel sorry for me. That rubs off on your children. And your children will run that hustle on their kids. So when a black man comes around and walks upright and trying to inspire and get black folks on the right track and say, hey, buy black, live black, make it a lifestyle, you're the main ones talking about, all right, that guy, he ain't doing nothing but trying to fool us. He ain't nothing but trying to trick us. Get you a white man, girl, he'll fix everything. Yeah, hey, black man, get you a white woman. You'll feel like you're successful in America. You'll feel like you're equal to Caucasians. They run that game all day, every day. It don't stop and it won't stop. When are we gonna wake up? You believed everything President Obama told you, and now we're worse off than we were before President Obama got elected. I'm just trying to show you the reality. I hope you can see what I see. Some of y'all see what I see, but then you play dumb. That ain't funny. Because that ain't gonna do nothing but put us in a worse position. But I'm telling you right now, Black Wall Street in 2018 is possible. But are you up for the downstroke? A lot of y'all ain't serious about black economics. A lot of y'all ain't serious about black unity. All you want to do is sit here and flag people videos and talk about things that you don't like and things you should hear or have to hear, but you choose to be, have the mentality of your oppressor. So you'll sit up here and listen to this and be like, oh man, the Iceman's full of shit. Here he go again. Instead of saying, damn, this brother telling the truth about a lot of stuff. It's a lot of good game here. Maybe I'll go ahead and buy his book because if he's this sharp, on this video, his book might have some really good information for me to get my head right. So I go out here and spit at these females. At least get that out of my book. The Game of Life According to the Iceman Volume 1. That's why I'm going to cover a lot of stuff and a lot more stuff in the dating Bible. Because a lot of stuff has to be broken down for a lot of you guys. Anyway, man, let me sign off, man. I think we've done enough tonight. You tune into the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. Go to my website, the AskTheIceman.com. Scroll down to the donate button. If you donate $50 or more to my nonprofit, I will send you a t-shirt to the address that you list on PayPal, and I'll send you a t-shirt. Please, black folks, I'm asking you, man, donate to my nonprofit, man. We out here buying these book bags. It seems like these kids go through 2 or 3 book bags in a semester because they're losing them. They're getting dirty and they don't know how to clean them. And sometimes we don't buy the most expensive book bag. Book bags are expensive as hell. If you want I got what do they call it? A Swiss Army knife book bag. Real good book bag for my gym bag. Because I don't really like gym bags to carry. I don't really like them kind of gym bags. I like the book bags. I like to put stuff on my back. But anyway, my gym bag is my book bag, and it's a Swiss Army knife book bag, and that thing was expensive. It was like $60, $40, $50 at Walmart. Walmart's supposed to be cheap. I got it in Minneapolis, in Eden Prairie, out there, expensive ass neighborhood. They got a Walmart out there. Anyway, I go over there. Man, that damn book bag was expensive. Straight up. But anyway, man, donate, man. Stop playing. A lot of y'all be playing games, man. Y'all sit up here and cats don't understand that it takes money to finance a movement. It takes money to change things. And we don't understand, they talking about down in Houston, when I went down there to help out the flood victims, and I got some volunteers for my nonprofit to come down there and help out. JJ Watt that plays for the Houston Texans. He tried to raise $200,000. He ended up raising like 30, 40 million. And I'm trying to inspire you to invest and not just donate to my nonprofit for a tax deduction. Yes, you can't get a tax deduction. All you gotta do is print out the receipt that you donated some money to my nonprofit, and what they'll do is you take that to your tax professional tax preparer, or if you do your own taxes, you just write that tax deduction off if you donate to my nonprofit. So, man, come on, man. We go out here, we do this. I work with the homeless. A lot of these homeless people are black people. And I definitely don't leave a black person without giving them something that they can use to help them get off the streets. So, hey, look beyond yourselves, people. That's what I'm trying to get you to do. And, you know, y'all sitting around here getting mad at black folks that's out here trying to be honest and try to do things the right way. That's what good people do. I don't come on here promising people stuff, because some of y'all want me to do that. You want me to come on here and be a snake salesman and sell you a bag of rattlesnakes, and I'm not going to do that. And yeah, you don't have to view my videos for a second or third time. That's fine. I get it. But those of you who do get it and have been rolling with the Iceman for the past 8, almost 9 years, you know how I get down. Yeah, we done had our ups and downs, but for the most part, you got tough love for me. I got tough love for you. You know I deal straight from the deck. I don't pull no punches. So we are under siege. We are under attack, and RAHOWA is in effect. If you don't know what RAHOWA is, you better Google it, because it's happening right now. You talking about weaponizing? They're weaponizing, and they're already going in. They're already killing our children, they're killing our women, and they're killing our men. I don't understand when we go get the memo that these people ain't playing with us. Man, I'm going to be here all night doing this. You're tuned in to the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. Go to AskTheIceman.com. 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 Holla at your boy.